Good morning, and welcome to the HySecurity and NICE Academy, the Innovate Yourself Academy it is, okay? So today, my name is Daniel Butler. I do HySecurity technical training here and sales engineering at HySecurity. I've been here 5 years, and today's bite-sized webinar, the topic is what's new with the StrongArmPark DC. First, a couple things. You've joined this webinar in listen-only mode, which means that you are muted. These trainings will be about 15 minutes long. There will be a short Q&A at the end, and there'll be a webinar survey as well at the end. Please participate by using the questions pane that you see on your screen, and we will address those questions at the end of the webinar in the Q&A section. The post-webinar survey will appear on your screen when you exit this webinar. There's also an icon on the right side of your screen that looks like a document. If you click on that, it'll give you access to some supplemental material, one being a technical bulletin and the other being an installation video. So, all right, let's continue on. You're looking at a screen now that shows our HySecurity and the NICE company 6 operator types. I'm showing you all the products from slide gates to swing gates, and that swing gates includes things like our new line of linear actuators from the NICE company. So we have linear actuators to go from the residential or farm, ranch environment, all the way up to big linear actuators that we call the Hydro Swing as well. So barrier gates, and that's what we're going to be talking on in this presentation itself. We make vertical lift gates. We have a couple crash gates. So we have a crash barrier and a new wedge. So these are our hydraulic operators that you're seeing on the screen. Starting in 2009, we came out with our Smart DC electromechanical line of gate operators. First one out of the gate was the Swing Smart, followed by a slide gate, and then a DC barrier arm, and the most recent product is our Wedge Smart, which combines that DC barrier arm with a wedge plate. Today, we're talking about that Smart DC StrongArmPark, and so let's quickly review some of the common features that we see in the Smart DC family of products. First of all, they're electromechanical, 24-volt DC operators, but fully backed up with two 12-volt, 8-amp-hour batteries, and so they're always running off these batteries, which also means that in this environment today where we have extreme weather events and power outages, this operator will continue to run for up to 1,000 cycles with fully charged batteries. These are also intelligent machines that a single board. So our whole Smart DC line has what we call the Smart DC controller, which is a microprocessor-based main circuit board with a display and keypad on board to allow you to easily interact, configure, and set up a gate operator. We have software that is a Windows-based application that we can run and which allows us to view logs, update the software, and also do the settings on our gate operator. All our gate operators are UL 325 compliant and ETL listed. Here's some more common features of the Smart DC. We have adapted IES. That's a safety feature. So if the gate was to strike something, it's going to stop the gate. In the case of the StrongArmPark, we have a dynamic reversing sensor, very sensitive, and with that big bumper on the bottom of the arm, if that gate hits something, it's going to cause less damage. We have environments, speaking of Smart DC, in combination with that Smart DC controller board, we can easily do a simple gate operator environment all the way up to something that's more complex, what we call dual gate systems, which would be biparting, sequence, interlocked, or Sallyport gates. We have plenty of communication ability with this, our Smart DC lines. We have RS-45 on the board. We have RS-232. We also have a USB connector for connecting to a laptop. And we have a new device called the HyNet. All of ours have are pad-mounted. Solar ready models are available. Make sure you order the right solar model. If you're looking for a solar-ready model, you have to order that. These are not field upgradable. On most of our Smart DC, not the StrongArmPark, but on the Swing and Slide Smart, it's a 5-year warranty unless it's in a single-family residence, and that would give you a 7-year warranty. For the StrongArmPark, today's topic, it's a 2-year warranty. So let's do a little deeper dive here into the StrongArmPark. We have 4 models. This product came out in 2013. We have 2 10-foot arm lengths, and one is a solar model, and then we have a 14-foot arm length. So it goes from 8 foot to 14 foot. thousands of, I've already mentioned this, we've tested this for millions of cycles, but you'll also get thousands of cycles after an AC power loss. That's the advantage of having onboard batteries. Another advantage of having an operator that runs off of batteries is that when the installer is installing this operator, they can get everything working before the electrician comes. So it's going to run off those batteries, and you'll get hundreds of cycles with fully charged batteries, so you can do your complete installation before the electrician even needs to pull the power to that. Easy to set up. Once you turn this thing on, you set the limits, and you're good to go. If you're looking in a more complex environment, there's other things we can turn on via our installer menu with the Smart DC controller. So from a simple to more complex environment. So what is the application for StrongArmPark? We see this in a revenue or access, a traffic or access control or a revenue control environment. So revenue control environment would be a parking lot that you might have you would have ticket spitters at. You would take the ticket, pull in, drive through, and then on your way out, you're going to pay for that parking space, right? So plenty of accurate vehicle counts. When we talk about Smart DC, on that board, we've developed a lot of software that allows us to put this operator in either traffic access control or revenue control. And so we do lots of counting, very accurate counting. We count transit, tenants, monthly specials, and because we're doing all this accurate counting, we know that if you had, let's say, 150 spaces available in your parking lot, we can tell you when it's full, so that when the 151st person comes in, if someone hasn't left, then they're going to have a space available. If not, we know that the lot's full. Real-time security alerts, we can send those forward. So if someone's if the gate is forced open or something is wrong with that gate operator, and in these traffic control environments or revenue control environments where you're losing money if that gate operator wasn't to function properly, this thing is very reliable and continue in those environments, so you protect your revenue stream. Here's the spec chart on this. I'll quickly go over there. So, you can see coming down from the top, minimum arm length, we'll put an 8-foot arm all the way up to a 14-foot arm on the DC 14 series. That has a spring counterweight in there, so that helps to compensate for the length and the weight of that arm. Full open to 90 degrees on these, left or right handing, of course. We also make articulating arms for these. Articulating arms are for height restricted areas, and that would be 7, 8, and 9 feet clearance for those. This is a continuous duty operator, temperature rating from -13 to 158. We have lots of user controls, over 70 configurable settings within the software itself. So from a simple to a more complex environment, and we have relays on board it. The warranty, as I've already mentioned, was 2 years. And now's the time for our first poll. So if you can be paying attention to your screen there, we're going to launch a poll here. I'll give you about 15 seconds to reply to that. You should be viewing that now. All right, I think that's about enough time there. Hopefully you've all replied. Will they see these poll results? And you can see the answer to the poll that we just took on your screen there, okay? Thank you for doing that poll. All right, let's continue on. All right, so now I'm going to get into what has changed. Like I said, the StrongArmPark launched in the middle of 2013, but part of our engineering development is to not only to look at new R&D, new projects coming, but also continual improvement of existing products. So in the case of the StrongArmPark, on the screen that the photo you're seeing here shows the arms that are available. On the left side are customer supplied arms. So if you wanted to just put on a 2.5-inch PVC downspout or a 1x4 wood arm, you can do that. And we have mounting brackets for that. So you can see those on the left side of the screen. On the right side of the screen are the arms that we supply that are customized aluminum extrusion. So we have an articulating arm and we have the standard arm, okay? Here it is. What have we done with that? Since we launched this, the StrongArmPark back in 2013, we've redesigned the arm. So that's a new aluminum extrusion again, available from 8 to 14 feet. It's got a very wide bumper on the bottom, and so imagine this is in an executive parking lot or something. If that arm comes down on someone's nice new Tesla, it's going to cause less damage. So I think that's a key feature. It also breaks away, so if someone hits it when it's down, and in many environments, these arms will take a beating. That is, we've seen arms out there that have been hit many times, so it breaks away, and then they put the bracket back in service and still use that same arm. All right, so other features of this new arm, we have new LED lights on the top of it, and it's covered with a UV stabilized cover on there, so better LEDs, brighter, more durable, very visible, along with that red and white striping on the arm, makes this arm something that people notice, right? And they're not going to hit your arms, okay? Here's another look at those arms as well. You can see the articulating arms. Again, this slide is, we've also added a 7-foot. So there's a 7, 8, and 9-foot articulating arm. Here we're showing those mounting brackets. I mentioned that you could either put on a wood arm, a 1x4 wood, or a 2.5-inch PVC downspout. Those are the mounting brackets from that you'd get from us, and then you put on your own arm. Here's the custom articulating arms itself, and this slide has the correct ones. It shows 7, 8, or 9 feet, right? And when they're extended, they go up from 8 to 10 to 11 feet. It's the previous articulating arm. The part of the arm that was closest to the operator was aluminum, and the tail was a PVC. The newer articulating arm is all aluminum, and there's also an option that you can put lights on top of that arm too. So if you have a garage where you're having standard arms that are lit up, and you want your articulating arms to be lit up, that's also available now. Here's a nice little graphic that shows how this breakaway bracket works. We've got some, we send a different hardware kit with these that have nylon and steel nuts and bolts, and there's a little matrix that says if you're in a heavy wind area, maybe you want to use this combination. So it allows it to break away when the arm is hit. One of the things that from the get-go, we've had this breakaway arm bracket feature, but something that's new that is now shipping, well, you know, a new bracket. Not only do we put something called a kill switch in there, and why is a kill switch important? Because once this arm breaks away, that's a little magnetic switch there, so it's meant to last a long time, no moving parts. Once this separates from that bracket, it's going to stop the operator from moving, which will minimize any additional damage, right? So that stops the operator from moving. The new bracket only goes 90 degrees. There's a different clamping mount on there, so it's a new, improved breakaway, what we call the HyProtect breakaway bracket. And people have asked for custom colors. We can do custom colors. We just did one for a company down in Bahama that had this nice blue color. You give us an RAL number for your color, and we'll make it any color you want, all right? So this is a growing thing. People want to match the environment that we're installing these gate operators in, and specifically the StrongArmPark. Here's a few of our photos here that we've taken out in the field. Here's one of our initial installs. It was a homeowners association down in California. The 14-foot arms on this, you can see. Here's another one close to us here in Seattle at the Seattle International Airport, Doug Fox Parking. You can see a number of arms there. They've also incorporated some communication capability with these arms with a product that we call HyNet. And I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. All right. Here's one where we're showing the articulating arms in a revenue control environment. So parking garage, a restricted height, that's why you have these articulating arms. And our StrongArmPark is tied into the revenue control system so that when a ticket is dispensed and those counts are happening, and I already mentioned that we do lots of accurate counting on this, so it's a great product to fit into a revenue control environment. Here's one in Caesars in Las Vegas. And as I said, a StrongArmPark can be dropped into or installed into a very simple environment. It's just doing basic access, traffic control, or you can have it in more complex environments. This actually, we're showing a pair of these on a crash gate at a data center, and these will be sequenced so a dual gate system with that slide driver there. You see the slide driver on the right. So and also intelligence as far as partial opening the gate or fully opening the gate, depending on the direction of the traffic flow. Here's one at a homeowners association in Southern California. We had a couple of swing smarts on those swing gates, and here we're showing those barrier arms before this. Why do they put barrier arms for? Really, they're trying to mitigate tailgating here. So in this scenario here, a car pulls up, and it's an RFID that there's a little RFID decal on the front of their headlamp there, and that those TOMAR devices pick that up, and then so once someone badges in and they're authorized to enter, those swing gates open up. When the swing gates are fully open, the barrier arms go up. Once the car passes to the barrier arms close, and once it fully is off the loops of the swing gates, then the swing gates close. A key thing here in this environment too is we did put on those kill switches, because we had a situation where the car will hit the barrier arm, and it actually, we didn't want it to continue moving around and causing more damage to not only the gate operator, but also that swing gate. There was a situation where we had it lodge into that swing gate panel, and obviously you don't want that to happen. But the kill switch stopped the arm from moving, but we also sent because our smart DC controller board has relays on board, we sent a signal from the StrongArmPark that once that arm broke away, to send a signal to the swing smarts to stop the gates there. So that prevented more additional damage to those gate operators and to that swing gate itself. So, summary. StrongArmPark is part of the Smart DC line of operators from HySecurity. They're 24-volt DC powered with true UPS backup. They're always running off those batteries. And if you lose the input or shore power, they're going to continue, and they're going to continue running until those batteries are depleted. And once the batteries are depleted, you have a choice on is the gate open or is the gate closed, fail safe or fail secure. So true UPS backup. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it also means because it's running off the batteries, you can install these things without shore power being connected. Designed and engineered with the installer in mind for simple simple installation and setup. Smart DC common components. We use the same board. That Smart DC controller board is the same one that we've used on all our Smart DC products, from the Swing Smart to the Slide Smart, StrongArmPark, and most recently a new product that we've released called the Wedge Smart, which combines a wedge plate with the StrongArmPark. Again, there's 4 models of the StrongArmPark, 10 to 14 foot arm length. Solar models are available. They all come now standard with and this is the lit extruded aluminum arm, as well as this HyProtect breakaway bracket, are all standard. These are not options. These all come with it to make this StrongArmPark a very price competitive revenue control beast. I'd mentioned intelligent vehicle detectors because that works nicely with our StrongArmPark, and we have an announcement coming up soon for a new vehicle detector. So what are the updates that have happened from the StrongArmPark from 2014 to 2017? There's slight improvements with bigger belts, different gear lube, but the primary ones are the new aluminum extrusion arm, which are standard for the articulating, and new brighter LED lighting, the cover, as I already mentioned, the bigger wide rubber bumper on the bottom, the visible striping. All these makes that arm more visible, makes it safer, more noticeable. Smart DC controller. We've taken that. It's the same controller board in there, the Smart DC controller, but in the process of continual improvement, we've looked at the failure rates on a board, and we've looked at things that maybe some of that was caused by heating, so we've improved the cooling on that board. I have a graphic here. Let me show that. Go back to that. Hang on a second. Here's a view of the Smart DC controller board. This big metal, aluminum thing on it's not a handle for the board. That's the big heat sink. And right below that are a bunch of MOSFETs, because we put the drive controls on that board. So we run some amperage through that. We've improved that cooling because obviously if you blew out these MOSFETs, you have to replace the board. We've done significant improvements on that board to extend the life and durability of that board. So Smart DC controller board is the main circuit board in all the Smart DC line. Let me get back to my And software. We continually add new feature function. One of the things I'd mentioned that you can use Start software to access to connect to our Smart Touch controller board, and you can look at things like the onboard event history log, which we store in non-volatile memory on that main circuit board. But we've also added new feature function, like now you can view that without a laptop. There's a new user menu item called LG, which allows you to view that downlog history event log one line at a time right there on the display. HyProtect bracket, I've already mentioned it. It's limited at 90 degrees to keep the arm from flopping around into the roadway. We've added the kill switch, and the new HyProtect breakaway bracket is just simpler to install as well because it's got the new clamping device on it. All right, I think it's time for another poll. So if you can watch your screens again, we've got a second poll coming up here. Give you another 15 seconds on this. All right, I think you probably had enough time, and you can see the results on your screen there. Thank you. All right, so this slide shows the barrier gate solutions. Last year, maybe someone might have a question on what's going on with HySecurity these days. Last July, HySecurity was accompanied by an international company based out of Italy called the NICE Group, and the NICE Group gives us resources that we didn't have before. And the NICE Group is big on home automation, and gates are a part of that, but we've also added now HySecurity to that. And so HySecurity and parking, we've really broadened the family, and so it's something that you can expect more coming from HySecurity. We're now in R&D mode to develop new products, and that effort is moving on. But we're also, as I mentioned earlier, continually improving our existing products. So here is an example of barrier gate solution. So there's the StrongArmPark in the upper left corner, but we also make hydraulic strong arms. The one that you're seeing on the right is what we call the StrongArm 14F. I'll show another slide because we're actually putting that StrongArmPark lit breakaway bracket arm on the strong arm, the hydraulic strong arm. Those hydraulic strong arms go up to 36 feet in length. You can see a strong arm DOT model here, and also in the residential commercial arena, our StrongArmPark goes up to 14 feet. If you needed a longer arm, the NICE products, so they make what's called the M-bar, L-bar series. Those arms go up to 29 feet. And for critical infrastructure, or you just need an environment that's heavily protected with a barrier arm, we make a strong arm crash. It's called the Strong Arm Crash M30, M50. And here's what I just mentioned about the strong arm hydraulic product. We're putting that same arm on there. So the big resilient wide bumper, 14F, sorry, strong arm 14F only, side mount, 14F being a fast gate operator, but it's going to have the same arm on there, and it'll be able to go either way on that, and it's an ambidextrous mount on that. So HyProtect breakaway arm bracket with kill switch, the LED lighting on the top, and the wider bumper. That's coming just around the corner here. Now I'm going to go to a few slides that show some options that are available for the StrongArmPark or actually any of our gate operators, but because we're talking about StrongArmPark DC here, here's the Hi8 relay that gives you an eight user relays, and if you weren't aware of it, on our Smart DC controller, we have 2 onboard relays, one analog and one DC, but if you've got more things to trigger, you can get the Hi8 relay. Also, I mentioned earlier, this can be a solar power operator, and if you need a remote power supply because maybe the amount of solar days aren't enough and you need more power there, you have a remote power supply available for that. And in the environment, let's say this is front-ending on your access control point, and something happens, whether that arm breaks away or there's some security breach or tailgating. All of these things can be communicated forward to your command and control system or your security management packages. We have a product called the HyNet, which is basically a network adapter, a network appliance that you can now put your gate operator right on a TCP/IP Ethernet network and do things like remote control, remote manage, many things you can do once you put something on the wire. I mentioned this earlier. HY5As are our current vehicle loop detectors that plug into the right side of that board. Great loop detectors, easy to install, no crosstalk, but those have been out for a while, and we've decided to improve that. So we have something that's just around the corner. In a couple of weeks, we're launching the HY5B vehicle loop detectors, auto sensitivity, auto gate compensation. There's some really cool stuff in this, and also but with auto sensitivity and be able to detect in an improved fashion, we can also pick up motorcycles, and also this ties in with our counting that we do as well. So, and I'd mentioned this earlier as well. Software, what's running in all our gate operator main circuit boards, and we only have two for the hydraulic line. We have the Smart Touch controller. For this, the Smart DC line, we have the Smart DC controller. There's software running in that. The current version today is 556, and we have this application that allows you to interact with your gate operator. And if you need more support, manuals, tech support, we have our tech support 800 number available from 6:30 to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and also our website, HySecurity.com. We have all the manuals are there. You can download the quick start steps. I'm showing you some graphics of that on the left of the screen there. The programming operations manual, but there's also installation videos up there too. So I encourage you to register on www.HySecurity.com. And I think it's now time for our Q&A. And I have a couple questions here. All right. So here's the first one that just came in. I install a lot of DKS 1601s. They work well, and I know them. Why should I consider StrongArmPark? Well, first of all, it says HySecurity on it. HySecurity is a company that's well known in the gate operator industry, been around about 40 years now. And one of the things that we do very well is we make reliable, secure gate operators. We have a strategy of common components where the StrongArmPark, which was released in 2013, it had parts in there that we'd been field testing since 2010. Okay, so even though it's a new operator, some of the components in there have been field tested and they're very reliable. Versus a 1601. UPS, true UPS backup, that's standard. That's not an option. The new aluminum extruded arm, that's standard. The breakaway bracket, all standard. It fits easily into a access control, traffic control, revenue control environment. Price competitive. I think it's an easy choice. All right. We have another question. What's the warranty? 2 years. All right. All right. How many of these do you have in the field? We've sold thousands of these. We've had in the range of 5,000 gate operators we've sold since 2013, since the launch on these. Again, the real key to me is the battery backup on this gate operator. I can set this up. I mentioned this earlier. We're seeing more power outages these days. We are having more extreme weather events, and this thing just keeps on running. What's going on with you? What's going on with you and Apollo? Who's Apollo? Oh, Apollo. Yeah, those are the guys down in San Antonio. Back in 2008, Apollo was acquired by the NICE group in Italy, and last year they continued that, and HySecurity became part of that NICE family. We're now, because we have more resource, we have the R&D arms of NICE in Italy and down in San Antonio, as well as here in Kent and HySecurity. I think the key here is expect more. What do you want this gate operator to do? We're looking at a lot of new technologies, from Bluetooth to smartphone access, remotes that NICE makes down in San Antonio. I think we've got a really good story to tell. We have a full, broad line of gate operators, from a simple access traffic control barrier arm all the way up to crash products, from wedges to crash gates, and complex environments where we can tie dual gate systems easily together just by running a simple cable and going into a menu and turning on a couple of options. So, any other questions? Oh, there's some coming in here. Hi, Daniel. Can you discuss differential counts for parking lot and how multiple gates can count together to create spaces available? And is there a full sign output and interlock to the ticket spitter? Well, I think, yeah, this is coming in from Jim. Yeah, Jim, thank you for that question. We've done a lot with revenue control. So yes, with the ticket scan, we know tenants who's parking in your lot are on a tenant basis, or transit who's coming and going. We have special events. We know how many spaces are available. So with doing that and doing the algorithms that we're doing the counting, we can determine what's available. We send all this information to the revenue control system. So it really ties into what revenue control system that our StrongArmPark is tied to, Jim. And we can give you a more detailed answer on that with the exact counts, but probably not the topics right now. But let's go. Are there any plans to go beltless, direct drive? We're always looking forward and looking at new technologies. We know there's brushless motors out there. There's direct drive. We're always in the process of looking at new products coming down the road. So I think that the key there is expect more. We've now got broader R&D, deeper pockets for that. So stay tuned. Can the barrier arm be mounted on either side of the operator? You have to order them left or right-handed. So no, there's the front where you have the cover on, and it's on but it's left or right-handed, right? So that's handing is there. How many relay outs to program that DK can't do? Relay outs. Well, as I mentioned, Smart DC controller board has 2 onboard relays, one analog relay and one DC digital relay on there. So we have 2 on board, and we also have the Hi-8 relay, which gives you another 8. So that's a total of 10 relays. Not sure you need more than that, but that's a lot of relays. How would I set up a 222 sequence to 2 StrongArmParks? Well, to 2 StrongArmParks, if you're doing a sequence gate between 2 gate operators, that's real simple. We just run a 3-wire cable between the 2, and we tell them to operate. We go into the SG setting in the installer menu, and you say, turn them on. These are, and the only question there is, which side is your traffic control gate, on the outside or the inside? And once you set that setting, it just works. So that's between 2 gate operators. In the question you have a slide driver going between 2 StrongArmParks. If we go more than 2, you're going to be relay wiring, which is simple enough because we have those onboard relays. So we would probably do the sequencing between probably biparting between those StrongArmParks and sequencing from that slide driver over. So in that case, we are running relay wiring. But we have those relays on board to do that. All right, anything being done to speed up cycle time, slow response, even at 2.5 seconds, easy to tailgate, even with proper loop. Let me reread. Anything being done to speed up the cycle time? Well, I wasn't aware that it was slow because it's a pretty fast gate operator. But if you're having questions with that, Dave Williams, call us and talk. I'm not sure where you're seeing the slowdown. What I've seen on these gate operators, you send an open signal or press the open, and that thing opens up. 1.5 seconds. That's pretty fast. It says at 2.5 seconds. Not sure on that one. Are there any other questions out there? Do we have a final poll? Oh, okay. So there will be a final poll or a survey that launches once I stop this, but I think we're done. Is that right? Thank you very much for taking the time to attend our webinar. We have a continuing series of these coming up, so we'll be sending more emails out and announcing some new of these bite-sized webinars on the website. They're being. Oh, and the webinar is going to be stored on the website. Sorry. So you can review this webinar or any of our webinars that we've already done. Thank you very much, and keep buying HySecurity. All right. Thank you.